Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Tuesday, November 27th, 2012. Let's jump right into the charts here. We're going to start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. What you're going to see here is that the futures are trading basically flat this morning, up or down a quarter point, right around the 1403 level. Nothing really major is happening at the moment, but you can see the futures were much lower, trading around 1401, around 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning, and then they did catch a bid. If you take a look at the U.S. dollar index chart, what you're going to see here is the complete opposite. Dollar topped out right around 6 o'clock in the morning, has been rolling over a little bit, and that has been giving the futures a little bit of a bounce. So again, keep the dollar chart on watch at all times. It will tell you everything you need to know. Dollar goes up, the market will go down. If the dollar falls and trades lower, the markets will inflate and trade higher. That's kind of how it works. It's a little bit of a quiet day so far today, but there is some pretty important news out there first. Just talking about Greece. Believe it or not, we're still talking about it years later, but it looks like another bailout deal was struck last night. It looks like the European policymakers are going to give Greece more money. I think they're going to give them 44 billion euro in 3 different tranches. So that's the news out so far. Who knows if it changes or anything else, but it looks like Greece is going to get more bailout money. And that may keep things a little bit glued for a little while. But again, it's just another temporary Band-Aid. It's really nothing all that dramatic. In my personal opinion, Greece needs to default, and that would really send them off in a better place in a couple of years. But in any case, they are getting another 44 billion euro in 3 different tranches. So the bailouts continue. I just want to know who's paying for all this stuff. But in any case, that's it. It is what it is, and that's how the markets are, at least at the moment. Also, last night, there was some news out of China, but forget about the news. Let's just look at the action. And it looks like the Shanghai index declined by 1.31%. So a pretty good decline last night in the Shanghai index, closing below the 2,000 mark. I think it finished around 1991. So pretty good decline last night in the Shanghai index. And what could you say? You have to watch the Chinese ADRs today. If the markets, U.S. markets, are weak, I would expect weakness in the Chinese ADRs just because the Shanghai finishing so low last night. Chinese ADRs could come under some pressure. If the U.S. markets are strong here, I wouldn't expect much out of the Chinese ADRs. But it was a pretty good decline last night. And as long as the Shanghai goes down, that's telling you that economic growth could be suspect. Also, the base metals could come under pressure as well, with the Shanghai being lower, especially if the dollar catches any kind of a bid. So watch for that also. A couple of other things to talk about here, gold and oil. The GLD, right now I should say spot gold is only down $1 to $1,749 an ounce. The GLD is not doing really all that much today, trading right at around the 169.50 level. It closed yesterday really right at the same area, so just up about 5 or so cents from yesterday's close. But GLD is still hanging in there pretty well. Nothing really wrong here from my vantage point. Looking at oil, oil is WTI light sweet crude is trading higher by 30 cents to 88.05 a barrel. Take a look at the USO, which is a good proxy for light sweet crude, and you'll see that the USO is trading right around $32.26. That's up about 7 cents from yesterday's close. So decent little, little move on oil, and gold is holding steady. Again, keep an eye on the dollar. Gold and oil generally trade inverse to the U.S. dollar. Oil is also affected by weather and obviously geopolitical events, especially around in the Middle East. So you have to always watch, what's going on there. There can be always a drop or a rise dramatically at any moment when it comes to oil. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But the dollar usually tells us everything that we need to know going forward. Now, I've been looking at a few different stocks out here this morning. There's nothing really dramatic that I'm seeing, but I'm going to go over a few different ones. The first one I want to look at is this RAH. I think this is a buyout this morning. Anytime you see this type of pattern, it usually indicates a buyout. So I think this is being bought out. I'm not sure by who. It may be Conagra. I'm not sure. I even saw the news there. But in any case, nothing to do. If you own this one by some chance, congratulations. Trail your stop loss, and that's all you want to do with it. Or maybe take it off the table and lock in the gains. It's up to you. But again, this is a buyout, this Railcorp Holdings. There's nothing to do there. Don't short it. Don't fade it. There's nothing to do here. It is a takeover, not a take under, and you want to leave that one alone. If you own it, you just trail your stop loss, or you take the money off the table. If you don't own it, then there's nothing to do there. You just leave it alone. Another one making a big move this morning is this Cadia Pharmaceuticals. It looks like they're coming out with some news saying that their drug that they have for Parkinson's disease is doing well. Stock is up 150%. Still a $6 stock, but nonetheless, it is making a pretty sizable move. Do not touch it up here. It's very, very overbought. I can't rule out that it won't trade higher. I guess it always can. Who knows when it comes to drug news. But again, it's a strong gap up coming from a pretty weak position. So it should be a strong gap today. I think it'll probably hold up in this area. I would just leave it alone. If you own it, congratulations on this one. You may want to just trail your stop loss. All right, let's take a look at a few other names out here. Corning looks like they upped guidance, and this one is catching a nice big bid. But again, it looks to be like a lot of resistance here at $12. $12.33 is also going to be a lot of resistance. $12.71 will be a lot of resistance. And then I think $13.14 is a stone cold short on Corning. So, take that for what it's worth. Right now, the stock, it's not a strong gap. Looks like it's stalling out around 12, but I think the 12.33 level is going to be your best first resistance point, 12.71, and then 13.14. I think it's a stone cold short. Let's take a look at Thor Industries. THO is the ticker symbol here. I don't know the news here, but I'm assuming it's earnings, so just check it out. But this one is falling pretty nicely. This is not a high volume name. Some days sporadically it trades over 1 million shares, but usually it doesn't really trade 1 million shares. So remember, light volume stocks can trade lower. When I looked at this one closely, it looks like the $36.75, the $36 area will be some decent support. Also $33.78, $31.22, all the way down to, believe it or not, around the $29 level. So again, it's a fairly strong gap down, and in fact, it is a strong gap down, and it's a light volume name, so these things can overshoot to the downside. So be careful there if you're going to take a chance on nibbling them. I usually like higher volume names, but I'm just not seeing many movers out here today, so we'll just have to see how that plays out going forward. But there's not a lot of big gap ups or gap downs that I'm really noticing this morning. As we speak, I believe there is durable goods orders. October durable goods orders report is released. And you can see the E-minis are getting a quick little bid higher, back to 1404. So that's up about, now up 3/4 of a point, or make it even 1 point now at 1404 1/4. So nice little pop there off the economic news. I think we're going to have more economic news out today as well. But right now, this is U.S. durable goods orders unchanged in October. That's the report or the headline. I think later today we do have at 9 o'clock the Case-Shiller index for September will be out. So you want to watch that one. And then at 10 o'clock I think we have some housing price index for September, and that will be out at 10 o'clock. So you're going to have more economic news out in about 30 minutes, and then in about an hour and a half. So again, we'll see how that plays out. But in any case, the markets have come off the lows, and they are trading up about 1 point at the moment to 1404 1/4 on the S&P 500 E-mini futures. All right, we're going to leave it there for now. And we will talk to you all tomorrow. Again, have a great trading day. Hopefully the volume picks up a little bit today. Yesterday was a little bit on the slow side, but that's what we're seeing, at least out here this morning. Take care, everybody. Have a great trading day.